and welcome. It is my pleasure today to introduce Tulika Bhatia, who is an independent artist based in Dallas, Texas. As an award winning artist, with her work displayed in multiple shows and galleries, Tulika has a passion of producing creative and varied art pieces. She considers herself to be inspired by the 19th century artistic movements that defined many world renowned impressions. She is an art therapy teacher for special needs children by profession, but of course, she teaches art to almost any child who comes to her. Tulika ji, what a pleasure. Thank you for giving us the time and welcome to
Thank
Lokvani.
you for having me, Ranjani. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Wonderful. What a pleasure it is to hear about this. And also that I wanted to mention that you've been so kind as to give your time to become an IndiArt ambassador. So
It's my
thank you.
pleasure,
Thank
totally.
you. Now, you did not start out being an artist as a profession. It was psychology. So what interested you in psychology and what motivated you to then become a full-time artist?
So, psychology is study of humans. Because you are surrounded by humans, right now, not so much, but you are surrounded by humans. So, psychology interested me in that. That's why I got interested in that.
Mhm.
Art, because art was all around me.
Mm,
I grew up with art.
mm.
In all kind of forms, in form of music, in form of dance, and in form of paintings. So that's how I got attracted to it.
So you just looked at paintings, is that right? Did your father paint or mother paint or
My
how did
dad
that?
did. My dad paint,
Yeah.
and he used to, as kids, he used to take us to museums and other places. So we used to just hang around with him whenever he used to go, and got to see quite a few collection of paintings at that time. Not too many come in Delhi, and I grew up in New Delhi, so not too many come in those museums. But whatever came, we saw.
That's amazing.
So yeah, looking at books, looking at magazines and other things. So there was always art around us. So
Wow.
that way, I feel very blessed.
And you painted at the time or did you
I did.
participate in
I did
any
paint when I was a
competitions
very
or
little
have,
kid.
yeah,
So yeah, I did.
yeah. Was that an interesting experience there that
It
you did?
was amazing experience because and Sundays sometimes, because that used to be one day off from school. So you will just have your crayons set on your floor, and then there was paper, and okay, just go with it. Paint whatever you feel like doing. If there were watercolors available, you had watercolors. Whatever was available around you, just start doing it. It
Wow.
used to be a fun activity. So we used to go to art competitions and all those things. It used to be a lot of fun.
Wow. Is there an art competition that you remember at all?
Oh yeah. So Shankar on the spot painting competition used to happen in Delhi. So we used to go for that. And there was one year, I don't remember which year, but I have two older sisters. So all three of us won in the same year.
Wow.
So that was a big deal in that time. So yeah.
So do all three sisters paint in the same style or you all have your own individual
I
styles?
I think I just took off with painting, and my older sister sing. All three of us sing, so my middle sister also sing.
Ah,
So
okay. All
I think
different
we
art.
all kind of were holding on to some kind of an art that was given to us.
That's fantastic. And then when you came to the Americas, is that where you really started painting so seriously and, presenting in art galleries and things like that? How did that happen?
I used to paint in India also. So before marriage and everything, I used to paint when I was quite little also. So I always painted. As far as my memory goes, I have painted. So I don't remember me not painting.
Yeah.
But growing up, the emphasis is more on education also. So as you were studying, so it used to be, okay, you have to get through your getting good grades in 12th grade. So you go to a good college. Once you are in college, okay, you need to focus on your studies now. I did all that. So painting was always on the side, but that was also one of the focus. I did continue always painting, but there was a period in time when I got married and had my kids when you had to slow it down
Yeah,
because now you have to have run a family and you have to take care of the little ones.
sure. Yeah,
And when the kids grew up, that's when I got back again. And then I got back much more seriously than I always wanted to do.
that's amazing. That's amazing. And now you actually do art therapy for special needs children. That sounds so, so wonderful. So, why art therapy? Does it work? And how do you do art therapy for special needs child? I assume these might be mentally on a different spectrum than others.
Yes.
Yes, not
Yeah.
just physically. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah. So, yeah, majority of them either they are on autism, so they are on the spectrum of that. It works, yes, definitely. Does it help? Yes, big time. It lets them express themselves.
Mm.
So if I'm dealing with a kid who is cannot communicate that well, some of them are nonverbal. For those kids, I think that's a way of expression.
Wow.
It's an outlet.
Yeah.
How do you express what's happening in your heart?
Yeah.
So that could be a way.
That's fantastic. So you were able to figure that out when you're saying you're a teacher. What do you teach them?
You cannot teach them what you will teach a regular kid. So
Mm.
you cannot be, okay, we are going to make a heart and a setting sun and there is a bird going to fly. Okay, no, that's not going to work. You give them hints. You tell them, okay, this is what we are trying to do. What do you want to do? And they will take it on their
Yeah.
own.
So they do
Then it
understand.
also depends on what spectrum they are on. So if they need a little bit more guidance, then you have to provide it.
Yeah.
If they can do a lot of things themselves, then it is less on your part, but they will take it off on their own.
But you're
I
saying
can
when you
actually give you a very cute example that one of the kids, we were making sunflowers. So there were 3 or 4 kids who were working with me and we were making sunflowers. So I was helping them cut the leaves for the sunflower. So I had to use the scissors because scissors can be very tricky for these kids.
right.
The sensory motor is not that great. So I was cutting things, I was cutting paper for them. Other kids were making those sunflowers quite well. They were really enjoying it and all. One kid decided to make an owl out of it. And he did make a beautiful owl.
My God.
So that is where you have to let them do what their heart tells them to
That's
do.
yeah. So when you see the paintings, do you kind of know what's going on in their mind or the emotions that they're feeling that day? Is
I
that
don't analyze. I
yeah.
don't.
Because the psychology is separate. This is art therapy.
Right,
That's
right.
what
So
is
I don't analyze what they do, but I do let them do.
do
So if
whatever.
a kid wants to make an owl when you are making a sunflower,
Go for the owl.
yeah,
But it's great that he knew or she knew about an owl and is able to represent to that. That's really fantastic. And now you teach, I mean, non-special needs children as well.
yes, I do.
So I know that you have never learned art. So
No.
what do you teach? And you didn't. You said you didn't believe, that art education is that important, and yet you're a teacher of art. So what do you impart to your students?
I mean, I don't believe that I'm sure there are techniques available how to do certain things, but because I never learned it myself, so I cannot teach them that way. So I just let them do what the heart tells again. So if they feel like making a painting which requires my guidance, I do provide it, but I don't like force my things on them. So
Hmm.
I let them fly their own with their own wings. I just provide like air in the back.
Oh, that's
So do your own thing,
yeah.
get your own creativity out, and I feel that that's more necessary than um, telling them. Sometimes kids really laugh at me. They tell me, Tulika auntie, can we use a ruler? Can we make a straight line with the ruler? I said, no. Why do you want a ruler? Just go
Draw.
in a straight line. If you can't, you can do over.
Oh, That's beautiful. That's how you guide them a lot. Okay, that's great. I remember my son when he was in, I think, preschool, they told him to draw the house and he gave them a blank paper because our house is white. He says, I didn't need to draw it because it's white and there is. And I guess he needed some guidance to say that. They said, you need to draw an outline. He goes, what is an outline? He described that whole conversation. I didn't know what to do. He says, and my friend said, I don't know what to do. You have a white house, so there is a white paper.
There is a white paper.
Yeah, so that's really fun. Now you're very kind to give your time to Ekal, and we truly appreciate it. Why Ekal, and why are you giving your time to be part of the indie art competition? And I wanted to say to those of our viewers who may not know what Ekal is, we are an organization that brings education to 100,000 remote rural villages, and the indie art is a competition that we are hosting, a national one, where people can submit their artwork, and while they are doing that, they're also bringing digital literacy to India. So, Tulika ji, why are you giving your time for this?
I think that is the most important thing you can do, because educating a child is really necessary.
Yeah,
I mean, you can think that sky is the limit if the kid is educated.
right.
You don't know where they're going to go after that. So
Right.
it's very necessary, not just for the child. I think it helps the whole family. So if I see some of the immigrant kids who come here, the mother and father especially will not speak even a single word of English, but the kid who goes to school learns English, guide the whole family.
Wow.
I think it's the same way in rural part of India also. Just imagine a little child helping their parents,
Right.
because that child can now read and write, help them throughout their life.
Wow. Thank you for seeing that and bringing that out. Actually, I did want to ask you. I forgot to check why impressionist painting. What appeals to you so much about it? I mean, it's not Indian art, but what appeals to you?
Okay, impressionist can go Indian art too. Why not? I mean, you can just paint anything. Uh, does folk art impress me? Yes, I love Madhubani and I love that kind of art forms. Why impressionist? Because I think that's the probably the most painting I saw growing up, maybe. Because I remember looking at Amrita Shergill's painting. I remember looking at Hussain ji's paintings.
Yeah.
So it is also not really impressionist, but kind of impressionist. So it just,
Yeah.
I think I was drawn to it.
Yeah, I guess your artistic energy went in that direction. So that's
Maybe.
that's great. So is that what you're going to offer in the workshop for people to learn, or is there something different?
I thought I was gonna do a pretty cherry blossoms with kids.
Nice.
So flowers is something which everybody loves. And I thought flowers could be very creative. You can make your flower your own way. So you don't have to follow a certain style or certain outline or leaf in a certain way. So you can do your own thing with it. So I thought cherry blossoms will be a happy thing to do.
Look forward to that. Look forward to that.
Yes.
So now, what advice do you give your students? I'm hearing a lot of be creative, don't be in a box. But for those kids who want to pursue art as a career, do you have any suggestions or advice?
Go for it. Go for it. Again, be your own self. Go for it.
Yeah. You know,
No,
and
I think if they want to pursue a career in arts, because especially I think if I see Indian families and some of the immigrant families here, the emphasis is a lot on education, that only careers they see is probably doctor, lawyers, engineers, and that kind of things. Yes, do that too, but keep a creative side. Keep your painting still. If you want to
absolutely.
become a painter, please do.
Please do. I love it. I think I hear a lot of out of the box. Don't be your own self. So I assume you live your life like that. More power to you, Tulika ji. I really appreciate that. It's not easy, to not be in the boat. Are your children painters or they are lawyers and doctors?
No, they are not painter, but my daughter is really into it. She has her own style, her own creativity. but she is very creative, and so is my son. He is into digital art,
Yeah.
not by professions. By professions, they are different, but um,
They're good Indian kids, doctors and lawyers, I'm sure.
yes, they are.
There you
So,
go.
but they are extremely creative.
That's good.
So
That's
yes.
good. I
And
think
my husband is an amateur photographer, so he
ah,
takes his camera and just goes out and takes pictures. So yeah, yeah, we are keeping creativity in home. So yeah.
well, in the box and out of the box, I think that's the right way to live.
Yes, yes.
But thank
So
you.
be rounded, be in
I
the box and go out.
There you go. There you go. And I'm sure all their creativity is impacting their works in beautiful ways as well.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Thank you so much, Tulika ji, for your time. And we
Thank you
really
so
look
much,
forward
Ranjani ji.
to the future journey of the out of the box Tulika
Yes.
as we move ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.